Hello, my beautiful, amazing crochet family. As y'all can see, we are back with another all over the place crochet broadcast. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all, listen, we are outdoors. And I said, you know what? I was inside and I usually do my morning crochet. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out. And I said, you know what? We are just going to crochet outside. I'm going to talk to y'all, let y'all know what I've been working on, and just share some stuff with y'all, with this project. So I am doing a hexagon granny cardigan, and I started it on Tuesday, y'all. So I want to show y'all. I'm using the pattern by Crafting a Cuppa. I hope I'm saying it right. Let me show y'all. It's Crafting a Cuppa, and I'm using this pattern because it tells me, well, technically, with the hexagon cardigans, you can just, as long as you know how to make the hexagon, you're pretty much good to go. But since I'm making it for someone, I had to find a pattern with some measurements. And this one lays out the measurements that I will need, and the sleeve length measurements and everything too. So I wanted something that's going to help me easy peasy measure this thing out, and I can go about my business. So I actually find that this pattern is really good. But the thing is, y'all, it was so funny because I'm talking, I'm gonna put some stuff down on this little thing I have beside me. But one thing that I found with the pattern was that I had a hard time trying to measure when I found out which size I was making, right? So I'm like, why aren't my measurements coming out right? And I realized, y'all, I was measuring the thing totally wrong. And that's why it's so important to go ahead and read that pattern through so you can know how to measure it versus just in my mind, I'm like, listen, it's just measuring like measuring, I guess. I was messing it up. But anyways, I have the first half of the cardigan completed. Let me show y'all this. It's such a beautiful day, y'all. Such a beautiful day. Look at this. So this is the first half, and I'm actually guesstimating the size a little bit. So I was thinking of going a little bit with more large, extra large, um, for the individual. So with the pattern, it tells me how many rows, not how many rows, how many centimeters to go for a half. I think I'm doing this correctly. And like I say, I'm kind of eyeing the measurements because this is a surprise kind of cardigan in a way. So I'm just like, okay, if we go large, extra large, it'll be a little baggy perhaps. But I'm hoping that this is going to be the right size because my daughter actually goes to dance, and she wore one of the cardigans I made her a while ago. And then someone was like, oh, I love that. You should tell your mom to make me one. And when you tell my daughter something like that, I'm telling you, she is going to be on me 100%. And I don't think the person knows that, but I'm telling you, my daughter is just like me. It's like we are the number one gift givers. We're the number one, like, if you are a good person to us, we are going to be great to you. And this individual is a good person to my daughter, and she has made her dance experience amazing. So when my daughter was telling me, I was like, listen, I already knew I was going to make it. I already knew I was going to make it. But this is that half because I don't want to keep rambling because we are going to crochet a little bit in this video because like I say, it's so beautiful outside. So I finished this one. This half, I would say, for what I'm going with, it's like I think I've got 17 rows, and I was thinking about going to row 18. But once I finish the second half, I'm gonna put it together and see how that looks. And if I think I need to go to like the 18th row, I will, but I'm not sure because I think I'm right in between that large, extra large type thing, y'all. Okay, so this is what I'm using here. This is Karen Cakes, Big Cakes. Karen Big Cakes, y'all. I didn't know how much I would love Karen Big Cakes. I think I may have a big cake on my shelf. I know I have some Karen Cakes, but I haven't made any projects with them. And sometimes I do get a little intimidated, and I want y'all to tell me, do y'all do the same thing? I get a little intimidated by the prices of Karen Cakes sometimes. And I'm just like, okay, $14.99 for some yarn. But this one, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all a little deets on this one. This is 300 grams, which is 603 yards. And it's a medium weight 4 yarn. And I'm using a 6mm hook for the hexi cardigan. And that's another thing that's beautiful about the hexi cardigan. You can use whatever hook size you want. I've seen people use like larger hooks and get like a looser stitch, and that's perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? I think it's perfectly fine. But the thing is, I don't like I find that I don't like using anything larger than a 6 with a weight 4 yarn. It's just a little more uncomfortable for me per se to crochet, you know. So I kind of stick with the 6. But I've seen some great makes with larger hooks as well. But anyways, with this yarn, it was a little intimidating. I'm not going to story about that with the pricings of Karen cakes, but this is amazing yarn. But the thing is, I'm gonna tell y'all how I did it. I had $10 off Michael's coupon. Plus, when you go in the store, you got 20% off. So I got 3 balls of yarn for this project. I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna need 2 or if I'm gonna need 3. I think I'm be good with the 2 balls actually, but I got 3 just in case, which is not bad because it's a beautiful yarn. I'm show y'all this. It's a beautiful yarn, and I can use this for other projects as well. But it to me, it's a beautiful yarn. And for 3, with all my coupons, I ended up spending $27. And I thought that was a pretty good deal. I thought it was a pretty good deal because, like, one thing about me, y'all, I really like getting a good deal. I say that all the time. It is just something that I love to do. I think it's the era I came from. Excuse me, y'all, with my hair. I said, we're going to be outside and I'm going to put this hair up. Okay. So, excuse my ponytail today. But, anyways, this is how far I've gotten on the second hexie, which is not bad because I don't have much to go. I think, let's see, if we count it out so far, I'm almost completing round. Let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think I'm going around to round 13 now. So I need 4 more rounds. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm excited about it actually, y'all, because I was sitting in there and I was just like, one thing that I like to do in the mornings, adjust a little bit, sorry. One thing I like to do in the mornings is just kind of have my quiet time, my peaceful time. I know the sun's out and it looks like it's not morning, but that's the beauty, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I am able to see every day the sunrise. And that is something like I really, really love watching for some reason. The sunrise to me is beautiful. Like I wanted someplace to where I could see the sunrise, maybe see the sunset. Like all those things are very important because then I can open up the blinds and you get that fresh sunlight. It's nothing like some fresh sunlight to me. So I was just like, I had the idea. At first I was going to sit up front, but see up front, my the sun doesn't shine in the front. It rises in the back, sets in the front. And I said, you know what? That is like prime for me because it's so beautiful back here. Like all of the sounds of nature. I just absolutely love nature. Like, I don't know. I just got into planting and I have like a mini garden, y'all. So I have a mini garden, and I said sometimes I come out here and I'll talk to my plants. I'll sit there and water my plants. And I'm like, how cool would it be to come out back, do a little crocheting, and you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting right in front of my plants. So they, it's crazy. I'm a plant mom, so they get to kind of see me crocheting. Like you never know. All the love from the crochet will go to the plants and my vegetables actually. And before y'all know it, I have like a huge harvest and be like, how did my harvest get so big? It was because I was talking and crocheting and my plants was enjoying it. And next thing you know, we have some good harvest. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all be like, listen, girl. But anyways, I'm excited about this project. And like I said, I just started on Tuesday. So when I upload this video, it will be Thursday and I'm almost finished. I should be finished today with the second half. And then I have to connect everything. And then I have to do the sleeves. So y'all, let me tell y'all, I think even with me having to connect everything, that's going to be amazing. And I hope y'all don't mind with the sunshine. And y'all, listen, I was sitting there and I was see how I jump subjects. That's why we're all over the place, okay? But I was sitting there and I was like, I hope they don't mind me being just outside and just, the sun is going to shine. We may hear a little extra noise here and there. But one thing I would say about me that I don't like is I don't like things to be quote unquote perfect, right? So when I'm trying to set something up, like I don't want to try to get the best shot or like make it look like everything is in place. Like I like when things are just true to what they are and the individual is true to who they are. So for me, I see that screen going in and out. So I hope that doesn't bother the video. Like it looks like it's a little darker and it went backlight, maybe because the sun. But one thing for me that I would say is I just like when we have honesty, when people can see, like, listen, no, there is no added nothing to this. This is pure me. This is what I do, how I do it. And there's something that we can all learn from each other. So maybe there's somebody else that's doing something and you are looking at their channel and you're like, oh, I like that because they're just genuinely just being them and I'm genuinely just learning something from them. So that's why for me, when I thought about coming out, I was like, I think it'll be perfect. I think it would be perfect. I get to enjoy outside with y'all together because in the mornings, like I say, it's usually quiet around here in the mornings. The kids, they're not early birds. My kids are not early birds. They get what they have to get done, and usually sometimes we have busy days. So like today is going to be a busy day, but no matter how busy my day is, y'all, I'm always up early. I'm always up early. So I think it's just the my internal clock wakes me up early. Today it's been a super early day for me because I think I got up at 6:30 a.m. and I was just like, you know what? If I'm up, it's no way I can go back to sleep. So usually when I get up, I give myself probably just a couple of minutes before you touch anything, you do anything. I kind of just lay there and I say everything I'm grateful for, everything I'm thankful for, all of that stuff, all of that. And then just so excited to be able to be up and explore whatever beauty that the day is going to bring me, because I know each day is going to bring something different and each day is going to bring something good. So when you're always expecting something good, even when something do trip you up out of what you think, like, man, that's not what I was looking forward to or thinking about, but guess what? You're going to find the good in whatever that is. Everything happens for a reason. There goes something big, I don't know, a big truck or something's passing by. So I know y'all probably hear that, but anyways, that's just how I started my morning. And I usually sit and I crochet. So that's what this is all about. That's what it is all about. So let me know, y'all, what are y'all working on? What are y'all excited to work on? Do anybody else like to come outside, sit in nature, just kind of like, enjoy the beautiful sun, enjoy the weather, and just crochet? I think I'm going to do a lot more of these, because I was thinking, I was like, what will we call them? Will we say like video vlogs or something? Because I'm like, listen, I'm crocheting anyway. I might as well turn on the camera because I never know, honestly, what I'm going to say. Yeah, I never know what I'm going to say, but I always feel in my heart that whenever it's on my heart, let's say, to turn on this camera, I feel as if there's something that I have to say for somebody. And there's something that someone can get from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so maybe it's a smile, maybe it's a little love in the video. You're like, listen, I needed to hear that today. Those are the reasons why I actually turn on my camera. So sometimes it's a challenge because I don't think about it. I'm like, would people really want to hear me talk? But honestly, I had to come to terms with it. Like, listen, it's more than just people hearing you talk or it's anything about crochet. There's something in everything. And I feel like there's something in everybody that we're supposed to exchange with each other, whether it's, I hope it's to make everybody life a little better here on this planet because some people, are other people's lessons. And I understand that we may not like it, but some people are placed here to be a lesson for us. So if we can even understand something like that, like, hey, in your mind, you may think like, man, I met this person and all of this harsh things were happening, or I'm realizing all of this. Like, I wouldn't look at it necessarily as the worst thing ever, because honestly, that person was just meant to be in your space at that time to teach you a little something about yourself and how you can overcome that aspect of yourself that you may not even realize that you've been having a challenge with, you know? So I always try to keep that in mind whenever I meet some people, because sometimes you do run into some people and you're like, man, I cannot believe this person acted this way or this person was this way. But a lot of times your lessons come through those people that you feel like are like a little harsh. And I've had a lot of that, growing up, because for me, I've ran into some people to where I'm like, why in the world? Because I'm not that type of person, but I also understand that I have to go through things sometimes, because me going through things is going to definitely help somebody else whenever I run into some people and talk to some people. Because I'm like, there's been a lot of conversations to where I've been talking to people and then they're looking at me and I'm like, yeah, that I've had that incident before or something like that happen. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And then after having so much of those occurrences, because you do talk to people to where I'm trying to just help people in life and try to encourage and inspire. And they're like, I would not believe like that happened to you. And then I smile within, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I see what's happening. I see what's happening. So I had to go through that because I was going to meet this person at this time to be able to encourage them and help them get through whatever that's similar to what I went through, you know? So all of that to me, I don't take for granted. A lot of times we would like to think that all of the things that's not so good, we'll be like, you know what? That's just it. I don't want to deal with those type of people. I don't want to deal with that. But sometimes if we change our perspective of the way that we look at people and how we look at the situation, you have to be able to separate that person, the lesson that that person is trying to bring you, from that actual individual. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some people to where I've had to say, you know what, I got the lesson. And even when I got the lesson, I also have to release the person, because there's some things where some people, yeah, they may be the lesson, but they're also disturbing my peace. Because one thing I always like to say is that I want to live the most peaceful that I can. And guess what? Can. You can live the most peaceful that you would like to, but if you don't try every day to actually be your own peace and to understand what your peace look like, you won't obtain that peace. And a lot of times we don't know what your own peace looks like, because a lot of times you're sitting there looking at other people, maybe it could be on socials, it could be or whatever, and we don't realize like, oh, I'm not identifying with what my peace is. I'm identifying somebody else's definition of peace, somebody else's explanation of peace and happiness and joy. You don't even know what you like. And you don't want to get too far into situations like that, because those type of situations will have you just doing every and anything that does not pertain to anything that you actually like. So sometimes, I know I'm saying a lot, but these are some of the thoughts that's just coming to me. So like, I'm gonna just keep chatting, right? But sometimes you have to realize that you have to disconnect in order to reconnect with yourself. And when I say that, even if it comes to YouTube, it may come with let's see, we got YouTube, we got Facebook, Instagram. I mean, if you name it, there's some that I don't even know about. There's a lot of different social media sites that I don't know about. And it's one of those things to where you're going to have to learn how to disconnect from social media and from media in general. It can be a lot. We got a lot of streaming. Like, we talk about social media like on TikTok, Instagram. We talk about all these sites, but we forget that streaming is just the same, because excuse me, there's some people who I know, all they would do is like be connected to watching movies. And sometimes even that movies, what's the others? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Movies, then you have those reality TV shows. All of that to me is similar to being connected to to social media, because before you know it, you're looking at what a lot of these, let's just say, reality TV shows are doing, and then that becomes a little bit of your reality, and you not realizing it could be something as simple as a saying that your favorite reality TV star is saying, and you're not realizing that in your conversation you start sounding like your favorite reality TV star character. You're like, God, that where that came from, and it's because we consume so much. So it's good to disconnect. I always say, and I tell my kids this all the time, because if anybody knows the challenges us new, well, not even new parents, us parents have in such a social world, and it's not social the way that we remember things being social, right? Because we will walk up and talk and can hold a conversation, and that's one thing that I make sure I try to teach my children is how to communicate with people. That's important. Not how to communicate with people online. I want you to understand, because they can communicate online, when they do gaming and stuff like that. They even got where they talk to each other during the game. They can do that all day long. You're not seeing that person, you're not face to face with that person. But I want to make sure that when you go out in the real world and you go get your groceries, or you're at the gas station or whatever, you can smile and say, hey, how you doing? You can hold a conversation. And those are the things to where I teach them. To me, that's a part of my foundational education when it comes down to my children, is teaching them how to communicate outside of social media. Because a lot of the times, y'all, I go into places and a lot of these younger generations don't know how to communicate. And sometimes I've run into even some of the older generation, they're thinking you're being super nice. It's like, okay, what do you want from me? And I'm like, what? I don't want anything. If you're overly nice, you're trying to give them something, or you're just trying to talk to them, it's like, listen, now you want something else. And I'm like, no, definitely not like that. I just remember a world how to communicate, and it wasn't with all of these social type stuff. So I would say one thing that made me very excited one time, y'all, was I was sitting there, and I was at Dutch Bros because they brought a Dutch Bros to the area. So of course I'm like, listen, I want to try Dutch Bros to see how it is. Now, I love coffee, but I'm definitely just an all black, coffee drinker. It's like straight black, that's it. Nothing in it, no creamers, no sugar, just straight black. And I went to Dutch Bros. When I say it was like a crew of younger generation, like I would say I would give them kind of like my oldest son, because they were like high schoolers or just getting out of high school. When I say, y'all, the most amazing, beautiful little kids. Like I called them kids, but they probably was like young adults. But they were the best crew ever. I mean, talking and communicating and, yes, ma'am, how you doing? This right here. When I say I was so impressed, I was like, oh my goodness, that made my day. Even if I didn't too like the coffee, I would go back just because of the experience. Because it's always a beautiful thing when you can see that generation being able to express themselves in a way to where they're super respectful. They look like they love their job. Because I always tell people, wherever you are in life, right? Understand that you're there for a reason. Like me out here crocheting and talking on YouTube, it's for a reason. It's for a reason. Like whatever job I always had, and I always worked in childcare. And at first I didn't understand that, I didn't understand the beauty in that. But then along the way, as I began to find myself and understand life itself, I realized, like, you know what? Every job, we're there for a reason. Every position, everything, we are there for a reason and for a season. And whatever it is that you're supposed to get from that job, or you're supposed to bring to that job, you are going to be there no matter what. Even in a relationship, a situation, whatever, you're going to be there until that work is done that's needed for you to be done, until you learn that lesson, until you do whatever it is that you're supposed to bring forth to that position. You are actually going to have to do that, and you're going to have to bring that to that thing, because a lot of times we get tripped up and we get upset because we think we're just here. It's like, oh, I'm just there, nobody appreciate me, this right here. No, everything is for a reason. Once we get that into our minds, once we understand that, and once we change our perspective on why we're there and what we're meant to be doing there, I'm telling you, life wherever you are will become a beautiful thing. Just know that wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You're meant to be there. You're supposed to be there. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence at all. So with that being said, y'all, I'm not going to be a little chatty patty, because y'all know I can be a little chatty patty. I hope this video resonates with someone who meant to see it. Y'all, the sun is kind of like showing me, I guess my screen is looking a little bit like a little dark, but then bright. I hope it's recorded and portraying, to come across really well. I hope the sound is good, because I do have my mic on and you can hear the air conditioning going on in and out. But y'all, one beautiful thing, instead of looking at the noise and the clacking, I want you to kind of listen deeply to the birds that's chirping. That's one thing. That's a simple way to change your perspective. And I'm saying that because a lot of people can always point out the negative. Everybody can point out, oh, what's wrong? But when you stand still, you're quiet, you appreciate the sounds of the birds. You appreciate nature. You appreciate what's already around you. You start looking and you're like, listen, you have more than enough that's already around you. With that being said, I want y'all to always remember that I am your one and your only Lady of Crochet. Thank y'all so much for sitting with me with my crochet session today. And as always, I hope y'all have the most beautiful, amazing day. And I will see you next time.